This is Sam. This is my youngest. You say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hi, Sam.
He's the mayor. Normally he'll come up and introduce himself anyways.
Coach, will Sam be taking questions tonight?
You want to take some questions?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Sam, if you wouldn't mind, before we start with questions, if you could give us your opening statement.
Yeah.
Tell
Don't
him,
know what that means.
tell him how the Aces played.
They played good.
And what do you always play before our game? What song do you always play?
I just win.
All I do is win. By who?
By Miss
DJ.
DJ Callie.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Coach, can I have an opening statement from you as the Aces improved to 9-1 on the season?
Yeah. Obviously I thought, we came out, I thought executed our game plan defensively pretty well, especially that first half and into that third quarter actually, but we had a lot of nice looks offensively. We moved it. Ball didn't go in very well tonight again, but again, playing out of our defense, we were able to get out and run. And I tell the girls this every day, like, when we play out of our defense, we become elite. When we have to take it out of the net and go against the pack defense, especially the #1 defense in the league, it's going to be difficult. And they made our life difficult there at the end. I didn't like how we ended, but overall, I thought we came out and, got the looks we wanted. Didn't necessarily knock them down, but we did get the looks we wanted, and we did do the things defensively that we wanted to.
All right, let's start on the interweb. Aislinn?
Hey, Coach, continuing on what you just said, can you talk about how important transition offense and defense are in games like tonight's?
Well, obviously they're very elite hitting the offensive glass, but it's hard to be, elite on the offensive glass and get back in transition defense. So we felt like if they were going to hit the glass, if we could rebound decently and not let the offensive glass get away from us, we felt like we could run back the other way. For us on the flip side, we don't put a huge emphasis on offensive rebounding. If it happens, it happens. I put the emphasis on transition defense. I want us getting back in transition defense. If we get a couple extra possessions out of offensive boards, great. But if not, my main priority is that our defense is getting set on the other end, and it starts with transition.
Mr. Emerson?
Hey, Coach. Back-to-back games where you kind of talked about the way that the teams have been able to close the game. But Chelsea kind of mentioned it last time. It's better for the group to obviously get these lessons and wins. What have you kind of taken away from obviously the close of the game is not kind of being the way that you wanted to, but ultimately it does end the way that you guys wanted to?
Well, I haven't liked how we've attacked pressure early. The other day in Chicago, I thought they bothered us and then we kind of caught on. And the way you catch on is you don't play timid. You don't play back on your heels. You attack, you look to the next pass, you get rid of it. And again, tonight, I felt like, they were doing a lot of hard hedging, a lot of blitzing. And basically throughout the course of the game, I thought we attacked it well. Then all of a sudden, the last, 2-3 minutes, now people want to hang on to the ball and you can't. Not when they're bringing 2-3 people. You got to move the ball, you got to get rid of it, and you got to still keep your attacking nature. Now, that doesn't mean we go and shoot it in the first 10 seconds. Obviously, we have a lead, but you got to get rid of it.
Nick?
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. You talked about some things that you wanted to execute better that you didn't see in this game, but how much does it help to have this team again in a couple of days to be able to work on those things, to be able to see those things executed moving forward?
Yeah, obviously I was a little nervous coming into this game just because it's a very quality team. It's a well-oiled machine, and they do some things that very well. They get to the paint very well. Hey man, what you doing? But it is hard to beat a team twice in a row. It's a little bit like a series, almost a little bit playoff feel when you have to play such a good team so close together. It's hard to beat a team twice in a row this close together. And so we'll have to make some adjustments. We'll make some tweaks here and there. Hopefully we shoot the ball better. I thought if we would have shot the ball, we did get up, 18, I think, 20. but then, you know, the wheels started to come off with some pressure and just not being solid. So we got to stay solid. And again, you know, you can't get back on your heels with pressure. Now that's a couple games in a row. So we got to clean it up, and we got to give our ball handlers outlets. So we'll try to help them as best we can, but it's difficult. Actually, when you lose if you lose the first game, you really have a little bit of advantage when you're going back and making adjustments. So we'll make our tweaks, and then, you know, see what happens. You know, I'm never afraid to mix it up, and if it ain't working that night, we're doing something else. So I don't like staying in the same defense and getting our head beat in.
Mr. Duncan.
Hi, Coach. Particularly in the third quarter, we saw a couple of different variations of three big lineups. Was that a counter to something that you saw from Connecticut, or is that something that you want to experiment with moving forward?
It was more, you know, they put they were just big. So I didn't want to get in a situation where we had to bring double teams because we were mismatched. So I figured the less rotations, the better we could take away the paint. So that was basically the idea. And then just to help on the boards, we knew the boards were going to be a battle. They still got more offensive rebounds than us, but we won the board overall, which I felt really good at because that's what they're elite at.
Thank you.
Lion.
Perfect. All right, closing out the internet. Christos.
Hello, Coach. Congrats on the win, first of all. You have the best company out there. I would like to ask you, you said some weeks before, after your third or fourth game in WNBA this season, that you were the newbie in the team. So after that 10-game stretch for you, what did you like most, or what is the most encouraging part of the team's game from your perspective?
I think the most encouraging thing for me is just their ability to learn. I'm learning them. They're competitors. They respond when I challenge them. So, like I said, we're still getting to know each other. They're getting to know what makes me tick. They definitely probably already know what drives me crazy. But we're just working on our identity. Really, it doesn't matter the opponent. We want to continue to be who we are and fortify who we are, because, you know, in moments like this, you get tested. And down the road, we know we're going to get tested. You know, it's not going to be easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy. In moments in the games, you know, you can kind of feel it, you know, nature kind of creep in with people hanging on to the ball too much. So we have to continue to fight that, continue to give each other outlets. And again, they're still learning me and my nuances and stuff like that too. So we're a young group, but so far a pretty resilient group thus far. So people have thrown some good shots at us, and I thought we've been able to kind of withstand them. Go out, go to your school.
Andy Monster, Las Vegas Review Journal. Becky, I think you guys ended up shooting about 10 more free throws than them. Was getting to the line part of the strategy going in, or just kind of taking what they gave you?
No, I mean, we always have an emphasis on attacking the paint, attacking the rim. And, you know, we felt like we could get them into rotations, then we could either shoot or attack. But, you know, if anything, the personality that I want this team to take on of me is one of an aggressive mentality. You know, we're scrappers, we're small, but we can be smart and we can be calculated and we can play together and we can play the right way, which I think trumps anything.
Coming up on Sam's bedtime, let's go 3 more.
Hey, Coach, undefeated at home this season. What has it been like for you here in Vegas, just with this crowd, with Tom Brady sitting courtside? What has it been like coaching in this house?
Obviously, you can feel the energy, and hopefully, you know, people come. I know I'm biased because I'm the coach, but I really do feel like this is a fun team to watch. I find myself watching them at times, actually, because they just do some really special things. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to take care of your home court. We know road is always a battle. And even here, it's a battle because you're going to get people's best shots. You know, they want to take, everyone's going to come here. It's exciting if you're an opposing player to come here and play. You You know, I remember when I used to play for New York, like people loved coming to New York and playing New York because it's New York. And I think Vegas has that vibe or bigger at the moment. So we want to continue to keep putting people in the stands and giving them something to cheer about. And, you know, like I said, you see these stretches of really greatness out there defensively and offensively that the girls are doing. And, you know, so we want to have more of those plays throughout the course of the game. And like I said, continue to remain solid and sturdy. You know, we have to be resilient and we have to be relentless all the time for 40 minutes. Doesn't matter who we're playing. Those have to be two character traits that we always have.
Coach, in the middle, Asia had 24 points. However, against 6'6", Jacquel Jones and 6'4", Demar Bonner, she also had 14 points. Talk about her defense tonight and how important she is on that end of the floor for you.
She's super important on both ends of the floor, but defensively, you know, at night she'll get her look. She'll you know, there's a couple of games early on, you know, where maybe she didn't shoot the ball as much as I wanted her to. I didn't get it to her enough. But she's, no matter how many shots she's taken, she's always playing the other end of the ball. And so defensively, she's not easy down there. Nobody gets to just go down there and score on her one-on-one or, I mean, she's working her tail. They're having a hard time even catching it down there most of the times. So that's a tribute to her level of detail, her level of awareness of what the other team is doing, and just her work ethic, grinding it out on the defensive end, possession by possession. Because as we know in the W, the post play is alive and well, and so we're having to tackle some big players down there defensively. And so, you know, I was telling them, you know, we do it together. We do it offensively together. We do it defensively together. No one's on an island guarding just one person. You know, we're all helping each other. They score on us. They get offensive rebounds on us. It's everybody's part of it. So they've bought into that we're a unit out there. And we're going to continue to be pounding it into them that we have to play great team defense. We have great individual defenders. I don't know if I knew Asia was that good of a defender coming in, but now seeing her in training camp, seeing her night in, day out, she's really proven to be on both ends of the floor, elite. And you could say the same for Jackie Young. I mean, she has a handful. We basically put her on anybody and let her go. She's just that big and strong, that smart, and that versatile.
Hey, Coach, Jimmy and Barry William on the radio. You said a couple key things that I paid attention to in this press conference. You talked about the defense, you talked about your size, you talked about individual defense as well. I've also noticed over the past couple of games, you've experimented with zone a little bit, whether it's a 2-3 or a 3-2 high with the man high at the point, guarding the ball. I noticed that you ran that again tonight, but they scored about 4 points and you got out of that. Is that something that you actually plan to run today specifically before Connecticut? And that's why you guys have worked on it up until this point and you didn't really like what you saw, so you switched back to man and got the results you were looking for?
I thought the zone was good early on. Again, any steady diet of the same defense, you know, people just get a beat on, so we switch defenses a lot. And it's just about stealing a possession here or there, a stop here or there. Eventually they'll figure it out. The 3-2 I didn't really particularly like. And we addressed it actually at halftime what the problem was, but we never went back to it just because I thought the 3-2 was a lot more efficient. So we just kind of stayed in that. And it's just about mixing up different looks. That's all it really was trying to keep offenses guessing. But we did play zone a little bit more tonight, probably than we have in the past, but that's just because I felt like it was working.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We'll let you go.
Yep.
Thank you.